Marvin sat on the red couch, trying to ignore the rhythmic, wet slapping sound coming from next to him. Jeffy stood there, violently hitting himself in the face with a green fly swatter, completely unfazed by the impact. "Hey, Daddy, look, I'm killing bugs on my face." "Uh-huh," Jeffy yelled. Marvin groaned, rubbing his temples. "Jeffy, stop hitting yourself with the fly swatter. You're getting bug guts all over your nose. Where is your Uncle Louis anyway? He was supposed to watch you." Right on cue, Louis burst out of the kitchen. He was shaking violently, clutching his head with both hands, his eyes wide and frantic. Marvin, you gotta help me, man. My brain is melting. I'm seeing things." Louis shrieked. Marvin let out a heavy sigh, leaning back against the couch cushions. "Oh, great. What is it now, Louis? Did you snort Jeffy's crushed-up green beans again?" "No, Marvin. I'm remembering things. I'm remembering the past. But it's a past that doesn't make any sense." Jeffy paused his self-inflicted beating for a moment to slap his own diaper. "Hey, Uncle Louis, do you remember when I stuck a green bean up my nose? It went all the way up into my brain." "Uh-huh. No, Jeffy, bigger than that," Louis pleaded, turning back to his brother. "Marvin, I looked in the mirror today, and I remembered having feet. Like actual legs and feet. Not a wooden stick shoved up my shirt." Marvin blinked, looking at him like he was insane. "What the heck are you talking about? We've always had sticks up our shirts. How else do we walk around?" "No," Louis insisted, his voice cracking. "I remember a time when we didn't have seams on our necks. I remember when your hat had an M on it, Marvin. A big, red, beautiful M. And my hat had an L." Marvin's face went pale. He shot a nervous glance around the living room, lower his voice to a harsh whisper. Whoa, Louis, shut up. Don't say that letter out loud. Do you want Nintendo to come back and take my house again? But Marvin, I remember we used to be made of soft plush fabric. Soft, cuddly plush. Now look at us. We're giant, creepy puppets with weird hands. Jeffy looked up, tilting his head. Hey, Daddy, what's a plushie? Is it a type of green bean? No, Jeffy. It's not a green bean, Marvin muttered, before pointing an accusing finger at his brother. Louis, you're losing your mind. We've always been puppets. Logan bought us, we live here, and you're dynamic-less and crazy. Explain this then, Louis yelled, practically jumping up and down. I remember a clone of me named Mama Luigi who died in an explosion in 2009. Why do I know that? I wasn't even there. Before Marvin could argue further, the front door flew open. Brooklyn Guy marched straight into the living room, wearing a doctor's lab coat over his usual clothes. All right, who called the doctor? I was in the middle of eating a Hot Pocket, and if this isn't an actual medical emergency, I am going to legally arrest all of you. Marvin stood up, letting out a sigh of relief. Brooklyn Guy, thank goodness. My brother Louis has completely lost his mind. He thinks he used to be a Nintendo plush toy. Brooklyn Guy stopped and stared at Louis for a long, quiet moment before letting out a massive sigh. Oh, great. He's got the Lorhor syndrome. Look, Louis, let me break it down for you. You're having flashbacks to the pre-lawsuit era. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes I wake up in a cold sweat remembering when I used to look like a generic Mario cop. Louis gasped, his eyes widening. So it is real. We changed. Of course it's real, you idiot, Brooklyn Guy snapped. But you can't just go around talking about the past. It breaks the space-time continuity of the channel. If the kids in the comments section realize we remember the old days, the universe collapses. Jeffy suddenly started unzipping his pants. Hey, Dr. Guy, look at my penny. Jeffy, put that away. I am trying to practice psychological medicine here. Brooklyn Guy yelled, shoving Jeffy's hands away. He turned back to Lewis, then looked over at Marvin. Look, Lewis, there is only one cure to stop you from remembering the past and ruining our rebranding. Lewis leaned in, desperate. What is it? A pill? A surgery? No, it's way cheaper, Brooklyn Guy said flatly. Marvin, hit him over the head with a frying pan until he forgets everything before 2021. A massive grin spread across Marvin's face. He reached right behind the couch cushions and pulled out a giant metal frying pan. Oh, I have been waiting to do this all week. Wait, Marvin, no. The timeline, the memories. I remember Mama Lewig. Smack, Marvin swung the pan with full force, hitting Lewis squarely over the head. The metal rang out loudly as Lewis dropped instantly to the floor, landing face first and motionless. Jeffy began jumping up and down, cheering wildly. Yay. Uncle Lewis went to sleep. Do it again. Do it to me. Marvin stood there panting, lowering the frying pan. He nudged the limp body on the floor with his foot. Lewis, you good, Lewis groaned, slowly lifting his head up from the carpet and rubbing his eyes. My head, Marvin. Why am I on the floor? And why does Jeffy have a fly swatter? Marvin smiled, letting out a breath he didn't know he was holding. Awesome, it worked. You don't remember any weird copyright violations, do you? No, Lewis asked, looking thoroughly confused. I just remember that I'm your brother Lewis, and I'm supposed to babysit Jeffy so you can go to dinner with Rose. Brooklyn Guy proudly puffed out his chest, dusting off his lab coat. Another life successfully saved by me, Brooklyn Guy, PhD, that'll be $40,000, Marvin. I take cash or expired Arby's coupons. Jeffy slapped his diaper one last time, screaming, Aha! Bad lunges.